Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 292 based on novel. So let's start. The Four Continents competition was held in Tianming Mountain Villa, so many strong people came from all over the four continents one after another, and there was still a month before the official start. So many forces that had already arrived in Xifang City were also quietly resting and cultivating, waiting for the competition to come. At the same time, in the faraway place, the supreme place that is connected to Yinhunshan and manages Yinhunshan, somewhere in Lihuan realm, a rather peculiar thing happened. Is that guy Chen Mo here? It was clearly this guy who called us, but he didn't show up. This guy. In a rather beautiful quaint hut, two figures stood slowly, and one of them was a man with a dark and uncertain face. There was a violent an aura, and then he slowly asked another person. At this time, in this quaint hut, the figures of the two slowly appeared, appearing to be somewhat monotonous. The two, a man and a woman, were both haunted by a layer of dark ghosts and could not distinguish their specific outlines, but the man was full of eerie ghosts, and even the woman was the same, their identities, obviously not human. Yinhunshan has a special terrain, and it makes sense for Chen Mo to come later. After all, this guy is used to idle clouds and wild cranes. Suddenly, the woman slowly got up and said something. Crash. After a while, as the woman's voice just fell, a strange space crevice wriggled next to the wooden table, and a petite figure emerged from it. Dust Ink. Pay attention to your image. You are the master of the plane of Yinhunshan. The Yinqing man couldn't help but look weird when he saw the child, exclaimed. Black Corpse King, when did you become so violent? The child said casually, not taking the violent voice to heart at all. The child's clear pupils were filled with a light spirit, and his body was as vast as the righteousness of heaven and earth, which was completely different from the two who were haunted by ghosts. Since everyone is here, let's start the three of us. The uncertain man ignored the child's words and said resentfully, the two of you are still so fiery, really. The child smiled, showing a row of neat teeth. Humph. Chen Mo, you are cheap and good at being cheap. If you didn't control the fertile land of Yinhunshan, how could you have such strength? The Black Corpse King said coldly, and the ghost energy on his body was even more intense, like a volcano that could erupt at any time. Yinhunshan is different from your other planes. It accommodates too many foreign populations, so as the master of the plane, I have enough responsibility to protect it. If someone wants to take it from me, or move it in the slightest, don't blame me for being ruthless. Wang Om. As soon as the voice fell, a terrifying wind burst out from the child's body. In the inconspicuous wind, there was enough to obliterate the 5-star fighting immortal powerhouse. Xeon volatility. The strength of this guy is really getting stronger and stronger. Seeing such a tyrannical coercion of the child, the Black Corpse King couldn't help but be vigilant. This guy's practice is quite strange. It is said that he is constantly reborn and constantly looking for the host to parasitize. But most of the people he parasitized are dying, but it is quite good. The woman nodded slowly, then smiled. She looked at the child like a loving woman. The three people present are the masters of the three planes under the Ghost Realm Li Soul territory. They are all powerful people who control one side. Now they are gathered together to discuss the supply of fresh blood for Li Soul territory. Thing. After all, Li Soul territory is their core area, and under the rule of Li Soul territory, they naturally have to send fresh blood to Li Soul territory. The three of them are, the Lord of the Yin Soul Heavenly Plane, Chen Mo. As a very special plane under Li Soul territory, Yinhunshan is a genuine superior plane with a vast territory. Unfortunately, after the war between heaven and earth, countless human beings also flocked to Yinhunshan to settle down, so this is Lihuan territory. The most contentious place. After all, most of the ghosts are the body of the soul, and they like to the blood of human beings, so the situation of the Ghost Day is in danger. However, no matter how tyrannical the oppression was, it was suppressed by Chen Mo alone, for nothing else, because this Chen Mo was also a human being. The Lord of the Black Corpse Plane, the Black Corpse King. The Black Corpse Room is also a high-level plane under the management of Li Huanyu, but all of them are bloodthirsty souls. They are thirsty for war and blood, and they are even more eager for the countless huge human beings in Yinhunshan. Because the entrances and exits of the Ghost Realm and the Human Realm are sealed, they want to the blood of human beings, and only Yinhunshan can do it. The three-faced ghost, the master of the Gyuanling plane, Guiyuan Ridge is also an upper-level plane under Li Soul domain. The creatures here are also lonely and wild ghosts, but they are quite easygoing, and under the mysterious rule of the three-sided ghost, the creatures here are unexpected. Unity. Let's start. This time, to deliver fresh blood to Li Huanyu, it will be screened from our 3 planes, but the number of places is pitiful, and this time you are summoned to understand how you are doing about this matter. The child sat directly beside the wooden table, and then spoke softly. Even if the Black Corpse King is eager for the Ghost Day, the Black Corpse King does not dare to be presumptuous. One of the big reasons is that this dust ink seems to have some kind of indescribable relationship with the Master of the Soul, not to mention Chen Mo's strength is even more tyrannical than himself. We Yuanling are already screening. Once the screening is completed, all outstanding creatures will be sent to Li Soul Domain for the Lord of Li Soul to choose. As for how many people can be selected, it depends on their respective fortunes. The 3-faced ghost seemed not to care about this, and said slightly, "In our Black Corpse room, we will hold a slaughter-based selection, and finally a Slaughter King will be selected and sent to Li Soul Realm." The Black Corpse King said slowly, "Our Yin Hunshan will be based on the 4 continents competition to select outstanding disciples to join Li Huanyu." The child thought for a while and slowly opened his mouth, but he seemed to remember that he had hundreds of "I haven't gone back in years." If it wasn't for the owner of Tianming Villa who regularly reported the situation to himself, I'm afraid he would have forgotten that he was the master of the plane. After all, the practice of his own cultivation is quite special. Only by constantly breaking away from the sea of suffering, looking for the dying person, parasitizing his body, and fulfilling his wish, can he use the power of that subtle energy increase. I see. The Lord asked me to call you all for this, so go down and prepare well. Suddenly, the child's fairy tale fell and disappeared. Hey! Forget it. The Black Corpse King looked at the figure of the child slowly disappearing, and the resentment in his heart slowly dissipated, not to mention that they are all masters of planes, just Chen Mo's superb strength, it is not something that I can handle, and Chen Mo is still the confidant of the Lord of Li Soul. If he impeaches Chen Mo rashly, it will make the Lord of Li Soul angry. At that time, the anger of the Lord of Li Soul will probably not be him. A little plane master can bear. The inner space of Tianming Villa wrapped in the Tianming Mountains is extremely special. At this time, outside the Tianming Mountains, the bottomless sea of dust is thousands of meters below the sea. The sea has always been a forbidden area for human life. After all, the ocean is not only full of countless mysteries and even unknowns, but also has many strange species. These species are quite united, but they are extremely disgusting to human beings, so it also created they are hostile to humans. Master, are you looking for me? The sea space under thousands of meters is a rather strange place on the sea reef. There are huge silver shackles all over the place. On the silver shackles, there are frightening pure lines, quietly emerged. In the center of so many silver shackles, an indifferent and ferocious force of imprisonment completely imprisoned the entire 100-meter sea area. It seems that there are some uninvited guests in this competition from 4 continents. The behemoth bound by the silver shackles slowly spoke, and his voice was full of anger. Reporting to the master, this time our hidden soul will go to kill the contestants who participated in the 4 continents competition, and almost all of them return without success. I am afraid that this 4 continents competition will be an unprecedented one. The man heard the words and spoke slowly. This man was clearly the guy who was responsible for killing Xiao Yan and the others, White Soul, and this mysterious creature bound by silver shackles was one of the top minds in their Hidden Soul Society. The Hidden Soul Society is a rather mysterious organization. It seems to have a grudge against Tianming Villa. They fight against Tianming Villa all day long, but no matter how many powerful people Tianming Villa sends to encircle and suppress them, they will easily escape. After all, there are still too many restrictions on humans in the sea. Although the overall strength of the Hidden Soul Society is not as tyrannical as Tianming Mountain Villa, it is better than the time and place where they control the sea area. The master of the Hidden Soul Society, called the Head of the Sea, is the one who controls the entire Ghost Society. This behemoth is also one of the minds of the Shadow Soul Society, and even the legendary Sea Head would be polite when they see it, although most of the guys in the Shadow Soul Society don't know what the body of this behemoth is. This 4 continents competition will be the grandest one. But at the same time, it will also be the best time for our Hidden Soul meeting. The behemoth spoke slowly, with a hint of urgency in his voice. Take this thing. Go to Haisho, this time, we have to go to war with Tianming Villa. Suddenly, a cyan arm slowly burst out from the body of the behemoth, and a burst of cyan energy was on the arm. Surrounded and preserved extremely well. Boom. The cyan arm just came to the front of the White Soul, and the breathing of the White Soul suddenly became disordered. This thing is obviously not an ordinary thing, and it is wrapped in cyan energy, and the seal cannot be broken temporarily. Go. After doing all this, the behemoth suddenly spoke. My subordinates take orders. Bai Hun heard the words, and said respectfully, and then took the extremely evil Cyan arm and walked towards the place where the sea had perched. Heaven Hades, you have sealed me for thousands of years. This time, I will definitely bring back the old and new hatreds together. In an instant, the behemoth also burst into a strange wave, and then quieted down. Cooperation? And further down the sea area, a dazzling array of crystal palaces are slowly paved under the sea area. Who can know that this place hidden under tens of thousands of meters in the sea area actually has such a rare crystal palace? At this time, in the depths of the palace, a man was slowly sitting in the first place. In front of him, there was an extremely strange black energy squirming. Is a guy from the Soul Palace. Lord Haisho. Now the 4 continents competition is imminent. Our Soul Palace wants to cooperate with you to help you kill the powerhouses of Qianming Villa, and we collect their souls, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Soul Palace Powerhouse. The whole body is wrapped in ghosts, and no outline can be seen. Qianming Villa is not so easy to deal with. After all, it is an existence specially set up by the Master of the Plane. I can't say what the Master of the Plane has left to protect us. The sea-headed man frowned and refused. I remember when Lord Haisho was defeated by Hades in 1 move, and your brother seemed to be completely sealed by Hades. These hatreds can be described as. At that moment, the powerhouse of Soul Hall opened his mouth, obviously before the trip. Come, he is holding the confidence of victory. Enough. Don't think that you are a powerhouse in the Soul Palace, and Ben Haisho will not dare to do anything to you. If you are like this, I'm afraid you can only apologize with death. There was a trace of hatred in the corner of Haisho's eyes, and he couldn't help but slapped his palm on the throne heavily. At that time, a heavy touch appeared in the entire space. Oppression. Master Haisho's strength is really tyrannical. But this time, if Lord Haisho is willing to cooperate, our Soul Palace is willing to dispatch a strong person to assist you and provide information about all the Qianming villas. The strong Soul Palace said in the opening. Why did your Soul Palace act like this? I don't believe that you are just to collect souls. Haisho snorted coldly, and then spoke. The purpose of this time is mainly for a kid named Xiao Yan. A haze emerged from the corner of the Soul Palace expert's mouth, and he smiled strangely. Xiao Yang? Haisho asked in surprise. It's just an ant who ruined our Soul Palace. When I catch him, it is better for him to die. The Soul Palace powerhouse said slowly. Since the Dongju incident and the arrest of the 5 Soul Guards spread, the top management of the Soul Palace has attached great importance to this matter. In addition to the fact that they used some shameful things, they suddenly discovered Xiao Yang's true identity. This Xiao Yang is a guy who has been promoted from the Dochi continent, and the Dochi continent is the origin of the Soul Palace, but I don't know why, the power of belief transmitted from the Dochi continent suddenly interrupted, plus various reasons they naturally wanted to arrest Xiao Yang urgently. In addition, there is another important reason. Soul Palace wants to find out the secret of the disappearance of the Xiao clan. After all, the strength of the Xiao clan ranks among the best in the entire Great Thousand World. If it disappears so quietly, I am afraid there is something in it. It is obscure, and Xiao Yang has the blood of the Xiao clan. As long as Xiao Yang is caught, the Soul Palace powerhouse will naturally have a way to find out the secret of the disappearance of the Xiao clan. And once the secrets are discovered by the Soul Palace powerhouses, they will be able to spy on the secrets, so with the help of the power of the Xiao clan, their Soul Palace will also become another Xiao clan in the Great Thousand World. Okay, deal. In an instant, Haisho thought for a while, and then spoke slowly, with a hint of anger in his voice. The shame of being defeated in World War I and the fact that his brother was sealed. Then I wish us victory. As soon as the words fell, the 2 of them laughed strangely, as if they were planning something. When time passes, it will be 10 days. For 10 days, Xiao Yang has been behind closed doors, and has been diligently studying the formation techniques that Yuan Yang has given him. Therefore, his understanding and use of formation techniques has also reached a new level, and he will never commit to spreading formation patterns on the formation again. The low-level mistakes in the law, the battle with people in the future, the power of the formation is also a higher level. The formation is really broad and profound. Xiao Yang slowly put away the scroll, then stretched his waist and said. Xiao Yang had benefited a lot from the 10-day sleepless training, but such a high-intensity practice was also exhausting. I remember that the guy who led the way said before that there are many magical medicines here. I don't know if I can collect the last herbs. After all, immortal fire, but even the master praises the things that have a family. Let's go to the medicine market first. Xiao Yang spoke slowly, then quietly left his residence and headed towards the medicine market. Isn't it dead fire? If it is really in control, I am afraid that it will be able to achieve immortality in the true sense. If it is combined with immortal flames, immortality, I am afraid that the same level in the world is also invincible, and even has the opportunity to set foot on that supreme path. Feeling Xiao Yang muttering to himself, the Master of Soul Eater also laughed. However, the only thing that the Master of Soul Eater concealed from Xiao Yang was that his resurrection not only needed the treasure in the Li Soul realm as the lead, but also needed the power of the 3 holy flames to assist, and they were indispensable. On the other hand, Xiao Yang now only has 2 holy flames, Fire Heart Tianyang and Ghost Face Soul Flame. As for Mu Yingying's ethereal flame, in order to preserve the original power of her holy flames, it is convenient to find Acacia Brokenheartitis for resurrection in the future. Xiao Yang had already secretly made up his mind not to use it, so the battle for the undead fire became the top priority. It's just that Mu Yingying's sacrifice had something to do with the negligence of the Master of Soul Eater, so the Master of Soul Eater did not tell Xiao Yang such an important thing. The drug market is located in a densely populated place not far from where they live. The 4 districts of Xifang City, north, south, east, and west, all have their own medicine markets and some buildings, maintaining the prosperity of the entire square. It's such a prosperous place. Xiao Yang didn't leave for a long time, and suddenly noticed a strong stream of Danxiang coming out, and suddenly smiled slowly. Medicine market. Looking up, in the vacant place in the street not far away, 2 conspicuous big characters of medicine market appeared directly in front of Xiao Yang. It should be here. I hope you don't let me down. He muttered slowly, then stepped directly into it, and Xiao Yang ran out secretly, so naturally you don't have to worry about Du Chifei and the others. After all, there are too many people, which is also a kind of trouble, not to mention that the girls still have their own characteristics, and they are not allowed to attract bees and butterflies when they stay by their side. Emperor rank 3rd grade Tiandan. Yuan Dan. It can increase the strength of the user by nearly 50% in a short period of time. Don't miss it when you pass by. I am worried about the 4th rank of the immortal rank, the robbery pill. After taking it, it can reduce the danger of Do Immortal Tribulation, and there is a very small chance that Do Immortal Tribulation will be wiped out so that there is no need to cross the calamity. Xiao Yang had just stepped into the medicine market, and suddenly there was a continuous trail on both sides, countless stalls. The Lord slowly placed his belongings and shouted incessantly. Although the Xifang of Tianming Mountain Villa is the residence of most people who have contributed to the 4 continents, it is not guaranteed that some of them are their descendants, and there are also many strong people who like this kind of life, so this medicine market is quite prosperous. Although these medicinal herbs are of high rank, they are not what I need. Xiao Yang walked around while scanning the various magical elixir on the side of the path. Among them, there are some immortal medicinal herbs, and even more high-end medicinal herbs. Immortal rank 5th grade medicinal pills, but that kind of medicinal pills, the items that need to be exchanged are naturally not bad, and it is not what Xiao Yang needs the most. For the fight for the undead fire, Xiao Yang not only has the undead ghost fighting spirit, but also has the original things such as undead leaves, as well as the medicinal pill prepared by devouring the holy flame, but now there is still a lack of the last medicinal material. It is what Xiao Yang needs most. Medicine pavilion. Suddenly, Xiao Yang slowly walked along the street for a while, but found that he didn't have what he needed. Immediately after slowly raising his head, he saw a magnificent building in front of him that suddenly appeared. In sight. What appeared in Xiao Yang's pupils was an impressively silvery glow. Around the building, circles of refreshing white smoke slowly lingered, making it extremely mysterious. Pill fog. Xiao Yang couldn't help but muttered. The so-called Dan Wu is a special gas produced by some high-level medicinal pills, which can be absorbed for a long time and has unimaginable benefits for alchemists. Go and have a look. Xiao Yang moved slowly, preparing to go towards the medicine pavilion. Hey, little guy, the old white-haired guy next to him. Go and take a look. In an instant, the Master of Soul Eater said directly. Old man. Xiao Yang heard this. Although he was puzzled, he temporarily suppressed his curiosity. He came to the old man's booth and asked slowly. What? Little guy, is there something wrong? The white-haired old man opened his eyes and glanced slowly before asking. This is the first time this kid comes to this medicine pavilion. I want to ask the old man about some things. Xiao Yang said with a smile. With his excellent soul power, he also found out that the old man is not easy. This little guy, interesting. The next moment, the white-haired old man took a careful look at Xiao Yang and said. The old man, is there any difference between this medicine pavilion and the medicine market? Xiao Yang slowly stared at the old man in front of him, and immediately asked. The stall in front of the old man was filled with some inconspicuous porcelain, but Xiao Yang, with his perception, found that these strange-shaped porcelain turned out to be like a ring. The only items in the general storage space are the Na ring, and the volume of such antique porcelain is several times larger than that of the Na ring. What it needs is not only extremely powerful soul power, but also some unique secret methods, so the identity of this old man, I'm afraid it's pretty decent. In the medicine market, the medicine pavilion is the largest, and the medicine market is managed by the medicine pavilion. The old man smiled slowly, and there was a smile in his voice. That's it. Xiao Yang nodded and said immediately. In the medicine market, most of them are places where idlers buy and sell things, and there is a clear division of labor in the medicine pavilion, which preserves the privacy of buyers and sellers, so it is respected by everyone. The old man smiled. Junior thanks senior. Xiao Yang bowed and smiled, then stepped into the extremely mysterious medicine pavilion. This guy, to be able to have such a source of soul power at such a young age, and he also has a lot of familiar fluctuations. It seems that this time the ratio of the 4 continents, some have seen it. The old man murmured slightly, and then took back his booth former antique porcelain. Tian Lao, why are you here, please? As Xiao Yang disappeared, a man appeared in the medicine pavilion facing the old man, and smiled at the white-haired old man with a pleasing face. Who would have thought that this seemingly harmless old man was actually the one who controlled the sealed land in Tianming Villa? Who is coming? Xiao Yang stepped into the medicine pavilion, and immediately at the entrance of the medicine pavilion, 2 armed guards asked with serious faces. Obviously, if you want to enter the medicine pavilion, you must go through a careful examination. Come here to buy medicinal materials. Xiao Yang nodded slightly when he saw this. He knew that these 2 guys had years of professionalism, and they cultivated that kind of vigilance. Please show the relevant certificates, said the 2 guards. Relevant proof? Xiao Yang asked in surprise. The medicine pavilion has 3 floors. The first floor is where anyone can enter and exit, while the second floor requires some identification, because the second floor is full of people with heads and faces. The 2 guards explained. What about the third floor? Xiao Yang asked casually. The third floor is where some big people go in and out. The auctions of things, there are sky-high prices, and there are many strong people in the third floor, so there is a high level of vigilance, and even the conditions for entry are extremely high. Harsh. Although it was difficult for a strong person with the qualification to enter the third floor to see one person for hundreds of days and nights, the 2 guards also said. What do I need to enter the third floor? Xiao Yang asked. Proof of the immortal rank alchemist. Maybe the strength of a 4-star fighting immortal. The 2 guards looked at Xiao Yang's weak aura, and immediately felt helpless, but they still said that they are not stupid after all, since they are goalkeepers, then, of course, it will be done respectfully. No. Xiao Yang heard this, nodded slowly, and then the rank medal of the immortal rank alchemist in his hand flashed away. Xian. Immortal level pharmacist. The strength of the 2 guards was also 3-star fighting immortal level, so in just a moment, they realized that the medal Xiao Yang just waved was a genuine immortal level pharmacist medal. Something can't be faked. Sir, please come with me. As soon as he finished speaking, one of the guards walked towards the medicine pavilion with a smile on his face with Xiao Yang. Seeing this, Xiao Yang did not make a sound, and followed him gently. Damn. In the medicine pavilion recently, there are more and more guys pretending to be pigs and eating tigers. For an immortal level pharmacist at such an age, his achievements in the future will be. The guard who stayed behind also said with some envy. My lord, this side please. The guard took Xiao Yang and walked towards the medicine pavilion, but found that the inner path of the medicine pavilion was intricate and even blocked by countless tyrannical soul forces, making Xiao Yang I can't investigate any aura. Obviously those intricate auras are probably the place where some powerhouses live. Squeak. My lord, please wait here, I will summon the supervisor to come and receive you. After that, the guards also left without stopping. After a few minutes, a shrewd man stepped into the house slowly. Hello, my lord, I am Director Hua in the medicine pavilion. If you have any needs, just ask, and I will try my best to find it for you. Director Hua looked at Xiao Yang's young age, but did not show any contempt. Because the rank medal of the immortal level pharmacist, and it explains everything. I need 1,000-year-old mysterious ice produced under the deep sea. Xiao Yang said softly without any hesitation. The 1,000-year-old mysterious ice produced under the deep sea? Director Hua couldn't help frowning when he heard the words, wondering, is there a problem? Xiao Yang pretended to be calm and said, but he was vigilant in his heart. If he couldn't find enough medicinal materials here, it would probably cause serious damage to Xiao Yang's plan. No problem. But adults should know that the deep sea has been a forbidden area for human life since ancient times, so the value of this 1,000-year-old mysterious ice is quite good. Director Hua said hesitantly, don't worry, as long as there is such a thing in the medicine pavilion, I will naturally give a satisfactory reward. Xiao Yang smiled slowly. No. My lord, that's not what I meant. 1,000-year-old mysterious ice, in the records of our medicine pavilion, it is indeed there, but it is on a special guy. That guy lives with treasure, so it would be extremely difficult to exchange things from him, said Director Hua. You don't need to worry about this, but please ask the steward to guide me. Xiao Yang smiled slowly. If that's the case, let's go. After speaking, Director Hua took Xiao Yang directly and walked towards the depths of the medicine pavilion through numerous stairs. What a strong medicinal pill power! As soon as they stepped into this place, they immediately saw a simple wooden door in front of the two of them. Such a strong medicinal power was transmitted from the inside, and it was obvious that there were human beings living inside. Elder Luo. The supervisor brought Xiao Yang, who was familiar with the road, came to the wooden door and tapped lightly. Roll. You brat, don't do things well, and think about my baby every day. Suddenly, there was a scolding voice from the wooden door. Obviously, this is not the first time that this flower steward has acted like this. This is the place where Luo Laro lives. Luo Laro's identity is quite good, and he has an affair with the strong people in the villa, and his strength is even a 4-star fighting immortal. Senior Luo. Xiao Yang nodded slowly, and then said slowly, but in that voice, there was a soul power at the level of Fairyland and went towards the wooden door. Oh, the soul power of the Fairyland. Suddenly, the wooden door was slowly opened, and an unkempt old man came directly in front of Xiao Yang, constantly surrounding Xiao Yang, looking up and down. I can only help you here. The rest is up to you. If you need it, let me know at any time. Director Hua said slowly, and left here. In the medicine pavilion, the privacy of buyers and sellers is protected. This is the case. The medicine pavilion only provides opportunities for buyers and sellers to communicate. As for whether the transaction is successful or not, it does not interfere at all. I heard that the old Luo has a 1,000-year-old mysterious ice in his hand. Xiao Yang also said straight to the point. Millennium Shenbing. When Luo Laro heard the words, he suddenly stopped turning towards Xiao Yang, his eyes filled with vigilance and staring at Xiao Yang. Little guy, I can tell you that although your Fairyland soul power is really good, you are still a little too tender for me. And the 1,000-year-old mysterious ice, that value, even if you take out the 5th grade immortal rank medicinal pill, I will not exchange it with you. After all, when I desperately entered the Sea of Dust, I was lucky enough to get such a small piece of the 1,000-year-old mysterious ice. Let me fall. Luo Laro said nonchalantly. Hehe, Senior Luo, I believe that there is no deal that cannot be done in this world. Xiao Yang smiled slowly. There was a sense of confidence in his voice. Oh, this makes sense. If you can come up with some god-level fighting skills, or you can come up with other god-level pills, it's okay to exchange this 1,000-year-old mysterious ice for you. Luo Laro said carelessly. This bastard. Xiao Yang heard the words and couldn't help but feel a black heart. God-level fighting skills, even god-level medicine pills, were unique in the world. Since you don't have one, please come back. Broken copper and rotten iron, I don't like it. As soon as he finished speaking, Luo Laro turned around and walked towards his wooden door. I don't have any of these things, but I have one thing. I believe that Senior Luo will be interested. Xiao Yang did not have any setbacks as he slowly stared at Luo Laro and smiled. Wong buzzing. As soon as Xiao Yang's voice fell, a strange thunder force lingered around him, and the whole person was like a thunderbolt, which made people quite fearful. There seems to be something interesting in your body. At the same time, Luo Laro, who had no thoughts at all, turned his head slowly and looked at Xiao Yang. Because the trace of thunder power released from Xiao Yang's body just now made him feel a terrifying wave of destruction. You must know that Luo Laro's own attribute is a thunder attribute, and he is naturally quite familiar with this kind of thunder attribute energy, and Xiao Yang is clearly a pharmacist, so how can there be such a strong thunder force in his body, which makes Luo Laro quite in order to be relieved, and the level of thunder attribute, Luo Laro is also quite moved. Senior Luo, how's it going? After a while, Xiao Yang also slowly withdrew the strange thunder, and then laughed. What was that thing you just now? Luo Laro seemed to ask casually, but he was extremely shocked. The source of thunder. I got it by chance. As soon as he finished speaking, on Xiao Yang's palm, a thunder bead composed of grey thunder was slowly emerging, and even the thunder bead was surrounded by a heartthrob. Terrifying fluctuations. This. In an instant, Laro Laro's pupils shrank tightly, and then he suddenly came to Xiao Yang's side, trying to take a closer look. This is the thunder bead, which is directly composed of the purest thunder, and this thing is the Thunder Master's thunder source that was absorbed in the thunder pond at the beginning. In addition, it was swallowed up by the soul avatar, and there is no remaining thunder source. He used it, so it was all condensed and compressed by Xiao Yang to form such a dazzling thunder bead. But don't underestimate this thunder bead. The thunder bead has the origin of the Thunder Master. For the thunder attribute powerhouse, it can be said to be a real treasure. Although this thing is very valuable, it is still incomparable compared to the 1,000-year-old Shenbing. Luo Laro forcibly restrained the hot fluctuations in his body, then turned his head and said to Xiao Yang. His strength is not strong, but he has been trapped in the 4-star Do's yarn for many years, and on this thunder bead, he clearly feels the existence of some supreme beings. If he absorbs those thunder and comprehends it, he may be able to comprehend the domain or break through the 4-star Do's yarn. Hee. Although the 1,000-year-old Shenbing is quite expensive, seniors should not belittle my thunder bead. My thunder orb was obtained by accident between my life and death. Although I don't know what it is used for, the grey thunder can easily obliterate me. Coupled with the extremely mysterious ancient fluctuations around this thunder orb, I believe that the value of this thing will not be lower than the 1,000-year-old mysterious ice. And if it wasn't for my fire attribute, I would definitely not trade this kind of thing. Xiao Yang said with a slight smile. The grey thunderbolt formed an ancient pattern, and the grey thunderbolt was as terrifying as the annihilation of all things. No. Luo Laro Zaitu cast a vicious glance at the thunder bead in Xiao Yang's hand, and immediately refused. Luo Laro is an old Jianghu, and in his eyes, Xiao Yang is so young, Fang is just a fledgling guy, so he naturally wants to harm Xiao Yang. I'm really sorry about that. That's the best pay I can come up with. Since Luo Laro is unwilling to exchange, then I can only reluctantly give up. In a few days, when the 4 continents competition starts, I will leave here. Xiao Yang said slowly. As soon as the words fell, Lei Tingzhu gently put away, and then made a leaving gesture to Luo Laro, and left here with light steps. This is a courtyard, with a distance of hundreds of meters from the wooden door where Luo Laro lived to the outside world. This old guy really can keep his composure. Xiao Yang was quite free and easy, and walked towards the outside world without turning his head. He had just walked 30 meters, but he noticed that Na Luo was still standing quietly. Outside the wooden door, he looked at Xiao Yang. This guy seems to be an old man. Luo Laro looked at Xiao Yang's figure that was getting farther and farther, and suddenly shook his head secretly. Obviously he knew that at this time, the only way to test the strength of the two. 50 meters. Xiao Yang muttered to himself, but his soul power was locked on Laro Laro's every move, but unfortunately this guy still didn't make any move. 70 meters. 80 meters. 90 meters. This is really ruthless. It seems that this time he won't bleed a lot. Millennium Shenbing must get it. Suddenly, Xiao Yang was about to leave here, and Xiao Yang couldn't help cursing. Luo. Xiao Yang just turned his head and was about to speak, but Na Luo was the first to speak. Forget it, come back. Although the value of the 1,000-year black ice is quite high, it is useless in my hands, and I have never seen such a bright thunder bead in my life. I am afraid it is something of a supreme predecessor. It's cheap for you, stinky boy. In an instant, Na Luo slowly shook his head. Xiao Yang felt relieved when he heard the words. If Laro Laro hadn't compromised in the end, I'm afraid Xiao Yang would waste more money and energy in exchange. Come with me. After a while, Laro Laro gently pushed open the wooden door and entered with Xiao Yang. What an exquisite living room. Just poured into the wooden door, and suddenly saw a series of ladder cabinets appearing in the pupils, and layers of drawers appeared, and in these drawers, there were quite tyrannical fluctuations and the extremely tyrannical confinement. It is also a place to store some treasures of heaven and earth. No, this is what you want. After a while, Luo Laro took out a round iron block bathed in water from a drawer at the top of the ladder cabinet, and gently handed it to Xiao Yang. Is this the 1,000-year-old mysterious ice? Xiao Yang took the item carefully, and immediately noticed that there was a chilling strangeness in the water that was lingering around the iron block, so that above the circular iron block. Volatility, born slowly. This water is collected from the deep sea, and it is best to preserve its properties. But remember, because it contains too much power, if you want to refine it, only some powerful flames can be used. Luo Laro carefully stroked the thunder bead and explained immediately. Junior thanks senior. Xiao Yang slowly put it away, and immediately thanked him. I'll let the guys from the medicine pavilion handle the rest of the procedures. A guy who made me bleed a lot is annoying. Let's go. After saying that, Xiao Yang was blasted out by Laro Lao, but at this time, Xiao Yang devoured the materials of the immortal fire elixir Bing Shen Dan, and he was completely prepared, and the only thing left was the final step of refining the elixir. You still have this temper. Following Xiao Yang's departure, a strange figure emerged from the wooden door. The visitor is Duo Tianhong. Does this guy really have such tyrannical potential? Could it be that you read it wrong? Veteran Luo asked Lei Tingzhu immediately. Yinhunshan is not a place for us humans to live after all, and one day we will leave here and return to our own land. And this Xiao Yang makes me feel a little at ease or mysterious. His achievements in the future are limitless, so now, help if you can. Because this is not only my decision, but also the decision of the entire Thunder Valley of Forging Blades. Duan Tianhong smiled slowly. This little guy. It seems that he has to find a chance to introduce him to the villa owner. Hearing Du Tianhong's words, Luo Laoi immediately knew the rigor of the matter, so he narrowed his eyes and smiled. This video will end here.